Welcome to Warhammer. So being fairly new to the hobby, about 3 years of experience in, there's still so much you can learn. And one of the biggest things is realizing which models are and aren't for you as a newer player, or just something that might not frustrate you. Now, if you're new or interested in these models, I'm not saying don't build them, but there are specifics as to why they're on this list. And the criteria for this list goes beyond, oh, it's hard to build or hard to paint for the most part. Also, only models in starter sets or starter set adjacent products are included on this list because they're obviously meant for beginners. Starting with number 5, we have the Dryads, hailing from the Start Collecting Sylvaneth box. While these models don't have the problem of being hard to paint or build, they have the unique issue of coming in a box of 16 models. The problem is the unit size is 10. So when you crack this box open, you have 6 extra Dryads where you cannot do anything with. From my research, this is the only box that really has this issue. Other boxes have weird model counts, but they usually are at least in increments of their unit size. If there are any more that I missed, let me know in the comments. For number 4, we have the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch, hailing from the Demons of Tzeentch Start Collecting box. These guys are not beginner friendly because it's not very apparent, but you need a separate box, in this case the Blue Horrors box, to even get full functionality out of this unit. It's not apparent until you look at the rules. Pink Horrors split into Blue Horrors when they die, and then the Blues split into Brimstone Horrors. So not only do you need to buy another box and paint twice as many models, but also the rule functionality is still confusing to expert players even to this day. GW did add separate functionality where you don't require the separate box. However, it still just doesn't feel good not to know this upon purchase. Number 3 on this list are the Flayed ones, coming from the Pariah Nexus Kill Team box. This old Kill Team box had these brand new Flayed 1 models, and they proved to be impossibly spindly and just generally difficult to put together. Which is ironic because Necrons are known for being resilient robots, and a lot of their models have this kind of issue, though the Flayed ones are definitely the biggest example of this. Number 2 on the list are the Plague Drones of Nurgle, coming from the old Demons of Nurgle Start Collecting box. While everything else in that box was very easy to put together and very beginner friendly, the Plague Drones are the exact opposite. Generally difficult to put together, however, this goes a step further because of the way old flying models were designed, where you actually required super glue to even get the stands to stay and the Plague Drones to fit on it, making it one of the few instances where you actually need products outside of GWs to finish a model. Quick dishonorable mention goes to Spirit Hosts. While being a super cool model in its own right, it is very incoherent and difficult to put together. One of the hardest models I've ever had to put together myself. And while not part of any beginner set or start collecting to my knowledge, Nighthaunt are generally geared towards new players because of them being mostly push fit. And number 1 on this list are the Khainite Shadowstalkers from the Warcry Catacombs box. Now, while these models are beautiful models, they are insanely difficult to put together and insanely hard to paint. This one has to land at number 1 for me just because of personal experience alone. When I was a new player and this box came out, I was super excited and put together the Signs of Flame with ease. After that, I tackled the Khainite Shadowstalkers and it was a nightmare. Spending up to 7 hours putting them together, sweating into 4 a.m. and then eventually over a week, figuring out how to paint these models and messing up having to paint them multiple times. Maybe now it'd be less of a hassle, but just that memory is so clear, and this being a product meant for newer players, especially Warcry, has pseudo-casual kind of connotations. It left me daunted and flabbergasted that this was even a thing for this hobby. So that's the list. If you have any ones that you think are models that are meant for beginners that aren't, let us know in the comments, or just any personal experiences of you being a new player and any models that you struggled with. As I said, I don't want to dissuade anyone from using or collecting any of these models. They're very cool, but sometimes it's good just to let other people know what's out there and help them out. As always, this is Warhammer. Stay swole.